Hello everyone, so I'm here today to talk to you about the PropDog pads, the PropDog close-up pads that we custom make. Now as a bit of an introduction, many of you will know of Jordan Murphy and JM Authentics who has created some amazing pads over the years, and we were very lucky to work with Jordan for a couple of years helping him produce some of his pads, but we eventually separated our own ways and we purchased a licensing agreement from Jordan to allow us to produce a lot of the pads that he made in the very same way, and we've kind of gone our separate ways now. Jordan isn't making quite so many as he used to, but we've developed some new techniques with some of our products. So although many of the techniques are the same, we've improved a lot of the products, especially some of the bonding with the glues. So that's a bit of an introduction. And there are three types of pad that we produce. There's the standard roll-up pad, which is what I have in front of me here, and the roll-ups do just what they say they do. They roll up like that, so you can take that up and put it in your close-up case, and off we go. Now there are variations on this, which we'll talk about later. Then we have the hardback pads. The hardback pads look like this, and they are hardback. So those are the hardback pads. Again, they come in different sizes, and we'll talk about those a little later on. And then we have the custom printed ones. So we have custom printed ones over here. And this is an example of a custom printed pad we've done for a client, and again we'll go more into that later on, but this is just a brief overview of the close-up pads produced by PropDog. So let's talk about the roll-up pads. Now the roll-up pads come in a variety of shapes, sizes and forms. Okay, so there are three sizes that we do as standard. It's the same with the hardback pads, and that's a small, medium and a large. So that for example is a small, and that for example is a medium, and this for example is a large. Okay, that's a large size there, but we can do any size you want. You can come to us and have any size or any shape pretty much. It costs a little bit more. For example, there's a nice long one over there. We also do the roll-up pads we also do the roll-up pads in circular shapes for chop cups, and if you just want to use it as a small performance pad for your cards, and again we'll go into those a little bit later on. But there are two different styles of roll-up pads in form of the padding. The standard one is like this. This has a rubber backing on it, okay, and this one has a velvet top on here, if you want to look at the velvet. Okay, now the velvet top has a lovely feel, and like most of the velvets we do, they have a nap, they have a direction of flow. So for example, if I do that, you can see on the pad there the darker lines, and that is the nap. And we always make sure the nap is going up and down, because the last thing you want to do is spread a card this way and then have this effect on it. Okay, so I've got some cards over here, and you can just see these spread out like that. There we go. So they do spread lovely, they grip the cards nicely. That's a pretty ugly spread there. Better do another one just to make it look better. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so that is the standard rubber. Then we have a neoprene one. This is a new addition we've just done, so I'm just going to give this one over to Luke over here. Now the neoprene ones, they have a spongy feel to it. It's a lot more spongy. This is a 5mm neoprene. This will be a special order one. The standard ones are a 3mm neoprene here, and this has a lot more pad to it, a lot more oomph. These are great for coin work. You can kind of press down a little bit more and then pick them up. Okay, they roll up exactly the same way, just like this. There we go. And this is a lovely shimmer velvet on here. So here you can see the comparison of the neoprene and the rubber side by side. The neoprene is the thicker one on top, and the rubber is the thinner one below. You can see the extra padding here on the neoprene. And underneath this beautiful neoprene pad, we have a memento mori. So this is an example of some of the custom printing. Any of the custom printing we do on the hardbacks, we can do on the roll-up. So these are the ones we produced for Murphy's Magic for the memento mori, and these are on a kind of a shimmer velvet. You'll see it's got a little bit of a sheen over there, and again these are the large sizes over here. And more custom printing example, this is one of the little galaxy one. This is again on a nice shimmer velvet. That's a beautiful soft feel to it. Now, if you previously had one of these from Jordan Murphy, Jordan had a technique of gluing the velvet on. We had a few issues with them. Some of them were returned to us. It wasn't a great method, but we've now found a new way of doing this. We use a big heat press machine, and I think Jordan is now using the same method. But this new method of bonding means that that will never come apart. Okay, so there we go. Now there are other types of pads as well. We have the pre-pin pre-printed pads and the gator embossed pads. Okay, so this is an example of a medium gator embossed, and this has a beautiful shimmer on it. You can see it kind of glinting in the light there, and depending which angle you see it at, it looks slightly darker or lighter. Okay, and again, there is a bit of a nap on this. You can feel the nap, but again, we do it up and down as opposed to left and right. A lot of thought has gone into this. And then we have another standard velvet here. This is the chive colour, and again, this is a neoprene surface. So you can see the back there, the neoprene, and the chive surface on there. And there's another example of a velvet one here, again on the standard rubber backing. Okay, now you'll find all the different options on the website like that. There we go. Now, as I briefly mentioned before, this is another example of a pre-printed pad. This is the blue thistle design. This is just a sample pad. This isn't one for sale. But this has a nice little thistle pad. Jordan Murphy came up with the designs for the thistle pads. We've since enhanced it a little bit to make it a little bit clearer. In fact, I can show you an example of that. If you look at the hardback pads over here, this is one of the originals from Jordan Murphy. And this is our design where we've completely redesigned it. You see it's a little bit crisper, a bit of a nicer design. There's a blue one there behind it as well. So those are examples of the thistles, and they are available on all the roll-up pads in both neoprene and velvet. And as I mentioned earlier, if you do want the thicker neoprene, it's not an option on the website. This will be a custom design. Okay, it's a lot harder to get hold of this stuff. And as briefly mentioned before, there are the circular close-up pads. Okay, the circular pads are designed mainly for chop cups, but a lot of magicians just carry them around just to have a little place to plonk their cards in the middle of a performance like that. And again, these can come in any design you want. We usually do them as a standard velvet, and I think we do gator embossed as standard, but if you wanted one of the thistle designs, or again if you want a custom printed design, we can do that for you too. So that is a brief overview of all the roll-up close-up pads. If you do ever have any questions about the pads, please don't hesitate to get in touch. So let's talk a little bit now about the PropDog hardback pads. So again, as with the roll-ups, they come in 3 different sizes. We have the standard small size, which is over here. We have the medium size, and we have the large size over here. But again, we can make these in any size you want, any custom size. For example, you can see here, we've got a huge PropDog bar pad that we've got all the other pads on that we take to Blackpool every year. This is a giant one, and we make a lot of custom sized pads, not just custom designs, but we make custom sizes as well. For example, we made the Magic Circle circular pad that you may see in the Magic Circle. If you go in there, we make half moon shapes. We can make anything you want. Just email us if you have a custom request. So those are the 3 sizes, and the pads come with 2 surfaces, 2 varieties. You've got a type of top and a type of bottom. Now the bottom is normally leather. I mean, we can make any bottom you want, but traditionally we have leather. The leather is all recycled leather, and it comes in a variety of different colours and shades, and you can find all those on the website. And there are 4 types of surface you can have on your pad. So for example, here we have what we call a gator embossed pad. Okay, so the gator embossed is a lovely feel to it. It does have a nap to it. And it comes in the black over here, and we also do a silver version, which you can see on our roll-up pad over here. And then we have the pre-printed design. Okay, so the pre-printed ones, these are designs that we already have pre-printed. It's not something you design and give us a logo. These are just nice logos we have that we've designed. In fact, this one is the thistle design. Now, Jordan Murphy from JM Authentics came up with the thistle design. We have since improved that a little bit. Just to give you an example, okay, if you want to come and have a look at this one. This is one that Jordan has designed, and you see it's a little bit faded and stretched, and we've sharpened up the image, redrawn it all, and you see it's a much crisper feel to it with a much deeper colour. Okay, and over here we have the greens. Have a look at the green. So we have the green thistle over here, we have the grey thistle over here. So those are examples of the pre-printed thistle designs. So here's another variation of the thistle design that we've made. We've enlarged the print and played around with the colours quite a bit. It's a very nice, stunning look. And over here we have an example of the blue steel. This is one of my favourites. I've just recently designed this. And it just shows you how crisp an image can go onto the pad. So we can have any kind of image if you wanted it as a custom one. We'll talk about the custom ones later, but it's a nice example of light and dark and shading on there. And here we have the Overlook Hotel design. Okay, a very famous design from the carpet in the Shining, the movie The Shining. And we also have a Sherpa over here, a custom Overlook Sherpa. So if you do like the pad, it's always worth getting the Overlook Sherpa to go with it to match. A cool little design, and that one has a nice red, vibrant red leather on the back, but again you choose the top and you choose the bottom as well. So here we have another example of a pre-printed one. This is the Ouija board. Okay, now the Ouija board is one of the designs that Jordan Murphy from JM Authentics came up with. Now it does look a little bit dirty and weird, but if you come in close you'll see that that is actually part of the design. It looks kind of dirty and a little bit weird. I'm not really sure whether we like that, so I may well change the design in the future and have it a little bit cleaner and a little bit more I would say sexy, but can you sexy up a Ouija board? We'll see what I can do. There we go. And lastly, I'm just going to show you the tough pads. Okay, so the tough pads, there's a whole video on those, so check out our Facebook video of the tough pads. These are a waterproof design, okay, and you can pretty much soak that in water and make your breakfast on it, which I almost did in my video earlier on. There we go. So those are the examples of the pre-printed and the Gator embossed ones. Now when it comes to the velvets, there are velvets and there are suedes as well. Okay, so the velvet and the suede are the standard ones, and there are slightly different forms of velvet as well. They all have the same rub count. The rub count is how dense they are and how sort of tough and lasting it is. Okay, and they all have different feels to them. This is a nice sort of raspberry red one with the black leather and the small, and this is an example of the suede one. In fact, we get a close up of those. Now when it comes to the velvets do again have a pile, a direction of flow of the velvet. So again, if I rub my hand over here, you can see it's nice and smooth. In fact, these are so lovely and soft. It's one of these things you have to feel to actually experience it. If you are coming to Blackpool, do come and visit the stand here and have a look. But if I do it this way, like that, you'll see there is the nap. Okay, so we always put the nap back to front so that when you're spreading cards, they spread really nice. I'm just going to show you here. Let's spread some cards. It's just a beautiful feel to it. Okay, now when it comes to the suede ones don't have that nap. Okay, the suede, you can see here, it's kind of multi-directional. It doesn't matter which way you go, but it just feels lovely. It feels so nice. And this is a beautiful new blue we've got. So I think we call it an electric blue. It's so vibrant, it's just gorgeous. And again, the suedes work or feel just the same like that. Now, if you do coin work, we can custom make the padding for you. Each one has layers of wadding inside. So the leather has 2 layers of wadding underneath here, and underneath the surface of the pad over here, we have 2 layers as well. But if you like coin work, you may want a lot more wadding. We can double or even triple the layers for you underneath. So if you're doing coin matrix moves and you want to be able to kind of lift up like that, we can do that for you. Just drop us an email and we custom make anything. Now, one of the things we do with the pads that Jordan never did with his, as a bit of an improvement, is to bevel the edges. We use a router to get this beautiful bevel edge. Without that beveled edge, you get a right angle edge. And one of the things we found with some of Jordan's original pads is after a lot of heavy use, if you're leaning on the pad like this quite a lot, then you will start to kind of that edge, that sharp edge will cut into the velvet and it gets worn a little bit around there. So not only does this beveled edge give a much nicer look, it's also more durable and harder wearing. And we can also put a waterproof barrier underneath the velvet or the suede, and that means if it does get wet, it's only got to dry through the velvet or through the suede. It's not going to go into the wadding or into the wood that makes up the actual main part of the board itself. So that is a little overview of the hardback pads. Now I'm just going to show you a few examples of the different colours of the surfaces and the leathers you can get, what they look like and what they feel like as well. So again, we have another nice blue suede one over here. It's a lovely kind of a pale blue, and then we have a vibrant I think it's a lavender colour. It's a lovely, again this is another suede one, a lovely colour on there. So this is another example of the brown one. Underneath we have a nice red leather under there. There we go, let me give that to my beautiful assistant. Another example of that beautiful blue electric. Oh, it's so nice, it's just feels so nice on here. And under there we've got this is one of our brown leathers, like that. There we go. Gonna keep on going. Now this is the most popular one we sell, the sexy black. The black is the most popular. Black leather on the bottom, black velvet on the top, and again it's a really beautiful velvet. It just feels so nice, and you just can't help but want to spread some cards on it. It's so gorgeous, so gorgeous. There we go. So here's an example of another black top with a grey leather on the bottom, a grey recycled eco leather. There we go. And we move on to the mustard, another very popular choice. A lot of people like the mustard. Again, a very nice feeling velvet on that, and a beautiful white leather on the bottom. And onto a mint velvet. So you can choose the surface you want, you can choose the bottom you want. Now this is a new type of leather we've got in. This leather, it's a recycled faux leather, but it doesn't have the two layers of wadding we had before. It's got a wadding built in, okay? So it's got an automatic padding built into it, and we're experimenting with this, but it is a lovely blue. It's a kind of a mottled blue. It's a lovely navy mottled blue on that. There we go. And here's another example of a chive with a brown leather on. And here's another chive, but this one has a different type of brown leather on it. It's still another recycled leather, but you see a beautiful pattern on the back. I like this leather. It's one of my favourite bottoms for it, and you can find it on the website. And another example here of a blue. This is a new blue we've just got in. It's a teal blue, and on the back we have that same type of blue leather you just saw on the other one, the one with the padding built into the leather. And this is another gorgeous blue we've just found. It's a real, we call it royal blue, we've called this one. It's just a real deep blue with a lovely sheen there. If I turn it around, you see the difference in colours on the shading there. And here's an example of a plum velvet with a black leather on the bottom. It's another nice colour. And a black velvet with a red leather. So you can see all the combinations of how they look, because some people say, what would a blue look like with a white leather? We're just trying to give you some examples here of what it might look like. There we go. So here we go. Red velvet and red leather on this one. So that's another popular choice. We sell a lot of these. And a plum velvet with black leather. The black leather is the most popular. And this is another type of velvet we found. This is the tangerine orange. It's a really nice feel. It feels slightly different to the other velvets. And it does have a very nice feel to it. It has a nap as well. It's difficult to describe. Come and see us at Blackpool if you're there. Have a look, you'll see what I mean. There we go. So in the hardback range, as well as the regular pads, we also have the circular pads that if you do a chop cut routine, you can just, yeah, if you do a chop cut routine, you can have a nice hardback one. Here's an example of a black leather and black velvet one. And over here we have a blue teal velvet with a nice brown pattern leather on the bottom, a red, and we can do them on gaiter embossed or pre-printed or anything you want if you want your own custom designs there. And we even have a tough pad bottom on that. So just a little variation here of the different circular chop cut pads that we do. So that is now an overview of the hardback pads by PropDog. Next we'll be talking about the custom variations. Custom design pads, so we're going to talk about that now. Now we can make any design you want on a pad. You give us a logo and we can design it. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the custom prints we've done. This is a pre-printed one that we provide with you, and you can see just how vibrant the colours are. This is the Overlook hotel version with the Overlook matching pen. You don't get that with it, by the way. And then we have, this is one of the ones I've recently designed. I liked it because it shows the vibrancy of the colours, the depths of the blue, and just what we can do as a pre-printed one. And this one kind of shows off the crispness of the print as well, and again the vibrancy of the colour. This is the pre-printed thistle design. But we can do all different kinds of colours. This is one we came up with a design. This is one Henry White came up with to show off the range of colours we can do and how vibrant those colours are. There we go. And you can see here there's another design. This is the Galaxy design that Henry came up with, and this is on a beautiful soft shimmer leather, shimmer velvet. So we print on a shimmer velvet, on a regular velvet. A shimmer one has a bit of a shine, a regular velvet, or we print on suede as well. So these are examples of suede. If you want to come on in, you can see our PropDog pad over there we recently made, and if I hold them together, you should just about be able to see the difference if you're looking closely. There we go. And there's another PropDog one we've done there. This is our demonstration pad, so it's looking a little bit dirty, needs a good clean. So we've done a bit of work in the past with Carta Mundi when they released their Copag cards, and to celebrate that we made custom Copag card designs. These are lovely, and to show you over here. The red one's been used a lot in demos, so it's looking a little bit dirty. I apologise for that, but you can see here, if I just spread the cards out, you can see how well they match. This is just another example of how well we can match a design that you give us to the final product. So those are the different designs we can do printing. So again, it's printing on suede, on velvet, or on shimmer velvet, but we can do any size as well. So if you've been to the Magic Circle and you've seen the circular close-up pad for the Magic Circle, we did that. We can do half moon shapes, we can make them really small, or we can make them really big. And you look over here, this is the pad we donate to Blackpool every year, so the guys in the Ruskin can play around with a decent surface while they're having their beers. And when we say we can make pads in any size, we really mean it. So these are two custom pads we've made that are 1 meter 40 by 80 centimeters, and they have red velvet on the top, and on the bottom we have black leather like that. So yes, we really can do any size pads that you want. We can even make them in circular shapes as well. So if you want smaller circular shapes, kind of like the Magic Circle one, but a lot smaller, and you can see here, these are the hardback close-up pads we do for chop cups, or just for a little working pad like that. So yeah, if you have any custom designs you want us to make for you in any shape, any size, any colour, any depth of wadding, just come to us and let us know. We can put waterproof layers under it. We can pretty much do whatever you want. Just drop us an email. Thank you for watching.